Hello. 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 Welcome back to a new week, new day, new life. Well, I don't know. In a Pup in the Life. Welcome, 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 welcome. So. In today's pod, something that I wasn't part of, but then Mom shared a lot with me, and so here I am talking to you and telling you all about it. So this goes to self-awareness. Yeah, self-awareness. So Mom was a guest at a school in Milan where you wouldn't find your typical A students. You would find disadvantaged kids trying to find their way to the future in a very practical way. But they usually come from situations, whether from, let's say, an environment perspective, that are not super prone to tell them that they can. This is the best way I can put it. And Mom was a guest at this school to talk with some fellow entrepreneurs about startups, about building a project, about specifically then it was a design of the marketing arena, of the marketing area, let's say, the marketing aspect of the company. But they supposedly were there to present their business idea and to present, to pitch the business idea. It was kind of interesting because if you were to ask to a random 16 or 17-year-old, have you ever pitched an idea in front of somebody? I guess the majority of people, especially in Italy, especially in Southern Europe, they would tell you, well, no. But at the same point, it's something really, really useful to be able to do it because it's actually a skill that you're going to reuse in your life at some point. And so, they attended these speeches, they attended these pitches, and they were the judges, right? It was pretty interesting. And then they had a contest on logo redesign. So what happened is, they gave some pieces of advice. They talked to these people. They were able to listen and to provide feedback. And that is one part of that. Then they were just about to go when one of the teachers comes in and says, hey, I'd like for you to come back inside because some of the pupils want to talk to you, want to ask some questions. And we were there and we were like, okay, we hope we can provide an answer that's going to be useful for them. And so we go there. Mom goes there with this group. And basically the question is, how? This is the best way to frame the question. How? How do you do it? How do you build something on your own? And how do you know if an idea has legs? And there is a very easy but at the same time complex answer to this, which is the real answer is you're not the market. You go out, you test the market, you try to understand if they want to buy from you. It's a very easy test. You test a big sample size, which is not fixed. It's not 10, it's not 15, it's not 100, it's not 200, it's not 400. It's some people. And you will see how many of those would buy. And the other thing is, you probably start with an idea, but you would rather be starting with a problem. And then the other thing is, you might be experiencing problems, but maybe your problems are not the worst problems. Usually it's not like that. And so You might just want to be aware of the fact that maybe, just maybe, you want to go out and talk to people before trying to pursue something. But nevertheless, regardless of the pieces of advice that tactically you can give to those people, what stood out and what's just, was sending out as a message from the school teachers and management was, you told them what they needed to hear, but nobody's telling them, which is, it's up to you, which is a good and a bad thing altogether. It's up to you to be able to make something good out of your life. And it's up to you, if the thing fails, and you're going to need to do something about it. Now, this is kind of obvious, but it's exactly what it is. Like, there is literally nothing else to life than understanding that everything is your fault for the things that you can control. And then that on the other angle, if it goes well, it's also your fault. Now, mom is part of the people that everything is your fault, but she doesn't give herself credit to make things work. There are people who do the exact same thing, right? But at the same time, we shall find a balance. And if nobody talks to these people, to these young people, and just say, entrepreneurship and in general, life is a matter of self-awareness. If nobody tells them this, who is going to do it? And who's going to make a difference in the world? Now, maybe on a, let's say, behavioral standpoint, maybe from an attitude perspective, somebody is already a person that can actually make something meaningful out of life, because that's how they're wired. But we are losing potential here and there because people simply don't know and don't have another frame to think. And that's how you build a generation of people that doesn't really know what the world is holding for them and what what life is about. And maybe even the generation of people that doesn't really know that they have a say and a responsibility as well. Who is going to tell them? And so then you start asking yourself, second guessing, saying, okay, but who am I to tell them this? And literally, do you need to be somebody to do it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nobody is doing that, because on the lower end, people are like, who am I? Of course, don't make pretend, but you get what I'm saying. And on the highest end, they don't care. Not everybody, but some people don't really care. And so we're leaving behind most of them. So mom is asking herself, would have you ever considered wanting something like this? And the answer is yes. But was this available when you were younger? And the answer is no. There was nothing similar. And even if it sounds weird, entrepreneurship wasn't really considered even a career path back then. But I mean, you sort of turned out like this because your dad or mom, family in general, had a company. And that's basically what it boils down to. It's sad. It's nevertheless sad. But it is what it is. And if we don't realize how sad it is, we shall not go into that and really helping people out. So, key is self-awareness. Always and forever. And that's why mom always says, go look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself what it is that you really want to do. Ask yourself, where do you stand? Ask yourself how long and how much and how worse are you willing to take? If you never ask yourself this question, you're going to find yourself in a situation no matter what. Because it can go good, but it can go bad. And so there is literally no other way than a lot of self-talk. Maybe not even self-talk, maybe talk with a therapist or whatever you want to go with. And whatever works for you. Maybe it's literally just own self-talk. There's no other way out. And so please take this into consideration. For the older ones, please talk to these people in your life. Everybody has some. Give them the only real truth about life, which is that it's all about self-awareness and perspective. And for the people instead that are so very young and listen to this podcast, which I hope we have, it's just understand there's nothing more to it than this. And that the next station, the next episode is going to be just everything else is connected to hard work and how fast you learn and iterate from mistakes and collecting a bunch of them, to be honest. It's all about collecting mistakes to understand who you are. This is all for today. We'll send you with mom lots of kisses, hugs, and a bit of barks.